Hi and welcome to another video of Made by Siem. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make this a beautiful scarf. It is super easy. It is a one row repeat because you start to do the repetition as of the second row. Like I said, I think it is a beginner's scarf. But I think that when you are a intermediate crocheter or an expert, you will also like to do this pattern. I love to make mine while watching the TV. So super easy. You only need 4 skeins of the Scheepjes that I'm going to show you in a minute. It's a worsted weight number 4 yarn, and I also made, with the same yarn, I made a headband with a twist in the same colors. Now I'm gonna do a tutorial for the headband as well with the same stitch, same yarn. If you would like to do the same, if you're going to use the same yarn, or if you have the same yardage or meters on your skein, I would suggest to go for the headband first and then use whatever you have left for your scarf. But it's completely up to you. If you want to have this in a plain color, just in one color, it's fine too. I'm also going to do a hat, a matching hat, but that will be just in a plain color. When those videos are available for the headband and for the hat, then I'm gonna post the link at the very end of this video, so you can go to that one if you like to make those as well. Now, like I said, if you want to do it in 4 colors and the headband as well, go for the headband first and then finish off, then make the scarf. I did it the other way around, and this is what I had left of my 4 skeins. And the yarn that I used is this yarn. This one is attached to my next project, because I'm going to show you just in a small swatch how to make this scarf. This is the Scheepjes Chunky Monkey yarn. It's an Aran weight, or a worsted weight number 4. 100 grams, 160 meters. They do suggest to use knitting needles or a crochet hook 5mm. We're going to use another hook size. It's a 100% premium acrylic anti-pilling yarn. It is a Dutch brand and it's a beautiful yarn to work with. I love this yarn so much. It's super soft. It has a shine to it. I love it. Now, if you want to use the same yarn and the same colors as the one that I used here into this video, I have the labels, and I'm going to show you what the numbers are. So this one is the Scheepjes Chunky Monkey anti-pilling yarn, and the color is 1710 camel. This beautiful color is chocolate, 1004. Then jasmine. Jasmine is 1218. And sage, 1065. Beautiful yarn. So that's the yarn. Then hook size. I use this Crochet Light, hook size K, 6.5mm. Because obviously when I started crocheting this one, I don't know why, but I grabbed this hook, and yeah, at night it was really nice, because at night I used the chocolate color, and I could see where my stitches had to go, so that was lovely. So the Crochet Light, or whatever hook you're going to use, whatever brand, the 6.5 millimeters. Then a darning needle to sew in all your ends. Here is mine, darning needle, and sorry, there is a plane. A pair of scissors. You can also use measuring tape. Mine is, in the total length is 2 meters, and the width is 24 centimeters. If you want to have yours bigger, you will definitely need more yarn. Okay. What you also can use is a stitch marker. I just have a plastic one right next to me. You don't have to, but it is optional. Okay, like I said, if you want to do the headband with a twist like I did, using all the 4 yarns as well, using the same yarn, go for this one first and then use up all the yarn on your scarf. Right? I will see you guys in the next clip. I'm going to show you how to create this pattern in a little swatch, because I already made mine, as you can see. But I'm gonna tell you everything about this scarf, how I did it, how many rows and stuff like that. So please take in mind that everyone has a different tension, and my friend has a tighter tension, and she definitely will be using a 7 millimeter crochet hook. I do have a pretty loose tension, so the 6.5 was fine for me. Okay. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna show you guys in a little swatch, because I already made my big piece, how to make this scarf. Now, start off with a slip knot on your hook. There are a lot of ways to do this, and this is how I do it. Be sure that you leave a little bit of a tail end. It makes it sewing in easier later on when you finished your project. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit like that. I started my big piece with a stitch count of 26. Now you can take whatever number of stitches that you like, as long as you can divide it by 2, or you can say as long as it is a multiple of 2 stitches. Okay. My big piece is 26 for the scarf. I'm going to do 12 for my little swatch. So yarn over, pull through, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We're going to make half double crochet stitches. This tutorial is in US terms. Half double crochet stitches. So yarn over. We're starting off by working into the second chain from the hook. 1, 2, and then turn your chain a little bit, because we're going to work into the back bump. You don't have to do this, but it makes the edge a little bit nicer. Like I said, you don't have to do it. If you find it really difficult, just work into the stitch. Now 1, 2. If you turn your chain a little bit, you can see the back bump right next to the stitch. So here is the stitch. Let me get my needle so it's easier to show you. So 1, 2, this is the stitch right there, and the back bump is right there. It is just a little on the side of the stitch there. See it? So 1, 2, back bump. Do not forget to yarn over and work underneath the back bump. There you go. Yarn over, pull through. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. This is your very first half double crochet stitch. I'm not sure if I mentioned that using stitch markers is a good idea. Especially when you are a beginner, it is so easy to use. It is a lot easier to use stitch markers. So I'm placing the stitch marker underneath the 2 loops of the stitch that we just created. There you go. Yarn over, go to the next stitch, the next back bump, and insert your hook underneath the bump. Yarn over, pull through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. 2 half double crochet stitches have been made. Next back bump, or next stitch if you're working into the regular stitch. This first row gets a stitch into every stitch. So 1 half double crochet stitch into each stitch. First row is always the most difficult one of your project, especially when you're working into the back bump. After this row, it's super easy. At least I think it is easy. For a beginner, it might be a challenge in the beginning, but I'm sure that when you're further along into your scarf, it gets easier. Now, if you used the same stitch count as I did for my scarf, which is 26 chain stitches, then at the very end, there you go, at the very end of this row, you should have 25 half double crochet stitches. I just need one more. There you go. Right. So I started off with a chain of 12, so I have 11 half double crochet stitches. But if you did 26, you should have 25. This was your very first row. Chain 1, turn your work. Now, the chain 1 that we just did is this one. This is your chain 1. Let me show you. If I take it out and I turn around again, you don't see a stitch right here. The one that was just here was our chain 1. This is our first stitch. This one. So chain 1, turn your work. Here it is again. Here, this is your chain 1. Skip that, because we need to work into the first stitch right there. Yarn over, insert your hook into that first stitch, grab your yarn, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through all 3. If you have an extra stitch marker, place that stitch marker underneath the 2 loops of your stitch right there. The first one that you did. Okay, I don't have one on hand right next to me. No, sorry. But you could do that. Okay, so you did one. Now another half double crochet stitch into the same stitch. So you have two half double crochet stitches into the first stitch. Skip the next one. 2 half double crochet stitches in the next. 1, 2. Skip the next and 2 half double crochet stitches in the next. And this is what you do all the way across. Skip 1, 2 half double crochets in the next stitch. Skip 1, 2 half double crochets in the next. 1, 2. Skip 1. The next one is the one where the stitch marker is, the very last stitch. Take your stitch marker out. Skip 1, and this is the one with the stitch marker, and crochet 1 half double crochet into the last stitch. So we did half double crochet stitches into the first one. We did 2 in the first one, and in all the other ones except for the last one, in the last one we did 1 half double crochet stitch. This is what we're going to repeat for the rest of our pattern. Chain 1, turn your work. This is the chain 1 that we just did. This is our first stitch of the row. If you look underneath the stitch, you see a little space, and underneath the little space there is a skipped stitch. Okay? We're going to work in this stitch. So reminder, when you're further along in the pattern and you're not sure if you are in the correct stitch, just have a look at your work. Stitch, space, skip stitch. This is the one that we will be working in the first stitch. 2 half double crochet stitches into the first stitch. Okay. 2. Skip the next. The next stitch is the stitch that we will be working in, and again space and a skipped stitch, so you're sure that you're working into the right stitch. 2 half double crochet stitches into that stitch. Skip 1. 2 half double crochet stitches in the next. And this is the repetition of this round. Skip 1, 2 half double crochet stitches in the next stitch. Skip 1, 2 half double crochet stitches in the next. And I am already at the very end of my row. Skip 1 and into the last stitch of the row, 1 half double crochet. You should have the same amount of half double crochet stitches as that you had at the very first row. So if you're doing the scarf, you still should have the number that you started off with. I had 25. For my little swatch, I have 11. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Then you know that you used all the stitches. Chain 1, turn your work. First stitch, remember it is a stitch with a little space underneath and the skip stitch underneath that one. Yeah? So below this stitch, skip, space, and skipped stitch. 2 half double crochet stitches. Skip 1, 2 half double crochet stitches. Skip 1, 2 half double crochet stitches. Now for my pattern, for my scarf, I did 38 of each color. I did 38 rows of each color. When I was at the very last stitch of my row 38. I changed colors, and I'm going to show you how to change colors. This is what I have left of my scarf. It will be enough to show you what to do to change colors. I hope this is clear how to do it. I know it is a little swatch, but every row is exactly the same. Start off with a chain 1 and start off in the first stitch with 2 half double crochet stitches and skip 1. The very last stitch of the row of each row will get just 1 half double crochet stitch. That's all there is to it. Now, changing colors the way I do it for this scarf. Yarn over, start your half double crochet stitch in the last stitch, grab your yarn. Now you have 3 loops on the hook, and we're not going to finish this stitch off by yarning over with your current color. We're grabbing your, I'm going to grab my new color and just hang it over your hook. Leave a little bit of a tail end. It makes it sewing in a lot easier later on. And then pull this new color through the 3 loops that you have on your hook, and then chain 1, turn your work, and start over with your new color and the same pattern. 2 half double crochet stitches in the first, skip the next, 2 half double crochet stitches in the next, skip the next, 2 half double crochet stitches in the next, and skip 1. Okay, now you can cut your first color if you like. You can make a little knot in here. I didn't do that, but if you're afraid that you're going to rip out your stitches, then make a little knot in these. Sew in the yarn ends, and that's it. I used 4 colors, so I had 4 times the color change. Oh yeah, what I can show you is how you can see how many rows you have. At least I'm going to try to show you. This is where my scarf is. This is where I started my pattern, here in this corner. I sewed in my ends, but believe me, this is how where I started. I forgot to show you this. This is why I started working into the back bump. Do you see that really super nice edge here? You can see the V's. I love it. That's why I used the technique for working into the back bump. Okay, now you start here with a loop on the hook and then make your chain stitches, and then into the second chain from the hook. Here you start working half double crochet stitches. In each stitch a half double crochet stitch. The very end we did a chain 1 and we did 2 half double crochet stitches and we skipped 1 stitch, and this is how we followed along our row. So you start here with the chains, then 1 row with stitches, and this is the second one. So if you turn your work a little, you can see the lines. Can you see the lines here? See? So this was our first one and this was our second one. So the line is just a little above the second second row. Actually it is the second row. So it makes it a lot easier to count your work, because you can see it here, you can see here a line, you can see it here. So 2 rows, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38. I hope it makes sense, and I hope you guys can see it, because when I'm having a look in my little screen, it is so small, so I'm not sure if it is super clear to you how to count the rows. Now, I can tell you another trick. This is where I had my yarn attached. If you are a lefty, then it'll probably be on this side. Okay, so but as I am a right-handed crocheter, I had my starting till right there. When I changed colors, I had to change colors on this side. This was my row, and this, my row number 38, was my last row. So the yarn end was on this side. The attached yarn end was also on this side. So every time when you do an even number of rows, you have the end till and the starting till on the same side. Maybe that will help you too, how to count the rows and see if everything is even. That's basically it. I think the pattern is pretty addictive. It was pretty addictive. I just crocheted this in a couple of hours. It's an easy pattern. It makes a beautiful gift. Especially Christmas coming up soon, in about a month or so, I think. Today is, yeah, in about a month. So you can have a beautiful set of a earwarmer, headband earwarmer with a twist, same pattern, same colors. Just up to you what you want. Alright, that's it guys, that's it. I really do hope you liked watching this video. Please do not forget to give me that thumbs up if you're not a Christian subscriber yet. I would feel it as an honor if you would be a subscriber to my YouTube channel. I do upload a lot of different videos. I am Dutch, so I also upload videos in Dutch, but I also want to say that I always mention into the title of the video whether it is a English video or a Dutch video. So if you made your version and you're going to post it to your social media, please do not forget to tag me. You are more than welcome to join our Facebook group Made by Siem headquarters. It is basically a group where the main language is Dutch, but you are so welcome if you are not Dutch. Luckily, the Facebook has a beautiful feature called translation. So if you see a Dutch post, because when you see a Dutch post, Facebook will translate it for you in your language, which is beautiful. So feel free to join us at our Facebook group. Also Instagram, you can find me on Instagram by Made by Siem. Right, I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and whenever you're going to make your scarf or headband, please do not forget to enjoy. And guys, stay healthy and stay safe. Bye for now. Please take in mind that everyone has a different tension, so it could be... Let me close the window. So I hope that it will help you guys to figure out each nodal. Okay? So yeah, if you did like watching this video, please do not forget that to give that